I have a very popular, sorry, I have a very unpopular belief. And it's a belief that gets people so heated when I talk about it. And you can agree with me or disagree with me, but this is what it is. I believe that there's only one God. There's only one universal creative force out there. And all religions lead to that God. Woo! Now, people go off when I say that, right? How could you say that, Twyla? You're a Christian. That means that you believe that Jesus died for everybody, right? Which is true. How can those two things exist in the same sentence? That you believe that all religions lead to God and you believe that Jesus died for everybody. Well, in my mind, it's quite simple. Okay, we are all individuals, right? And we all think differently. We all learn differently. We all come to our own conclusions in different ways. So it would make sense that God, who is a God of variety, I mean, God is a God of variety. There's like 160 different roaches and spiders. Like there's variety in things that we wouldn't even think of, like a variety of maggots. God is serious about some variety. Never mind the variety in humanity, the variety in every zebra's stripes are different. You know how many zebras there are? So variety obviously is a trait of God. So why wouldn't there be a variety of ways to find him? Everybody is not going to agree on how to find God. The scientists have to do it scientifically, and they have, right? They put together all of these things, and at the end of it, voila, there's a universal consciousness or some type of energy that connects us all. We don't know what to call it, but it's out there, right? Right. The neurologists, they have their way. People all think in different ways and they get to um, the same conclusion using different paths. It's just like math. How many ways are there to get to 1 + 1 = 2? Like you can divide it, you can multiply it, you can, I'm not really good at math. Use algebra, whatever. The bottom line is there's multiple ways to get to the same conclusion. And I believe that is true when it comes to God. Now, there are religions, because religions are touched by humanity, by men and women, we have put our own traits into these religions. Like there's 200 different forms of Christianity, which is supposed to be united under this same belief that Jesus died for everybody, right? But there's 200 different forms of it. Protestant, Methodist. Why is that? Well, because humanity enters into the equation and they've decided that lighting candles is very important, or this is very important, and that's very important. So each one of those religions have adopted something that they think is the most important part of it. And then they've applied it to their, the way they practice and their belief system. And so they branched off and made their own religion. The same is true for other religions. I mean, I'll go as far as to say the Buddhists, when they meditate and nirvana and all of that, that's all a connection with God, the same God. And like I said in another video, the word God has been hijacked so badly that we're afraid to say that. So we have to use other words. I think the same is true for religion. Humanity has found their way to God in different ways. Now, like I said, how can those two things exist at the same time? Well, The fact that Jesus died so that humanity could connect back to God is a universal law. Whether you believe in it or not, it is the truth. It's just like gravity. You cannot believe in gravity if you want to, but all of the things that we do points to the fact that it is true. You cannot believe in a lot of different things, but the fact that they exist does not depend on whether or not you believe in it. And I think the same is true for the fact that the death of the man Jesus, which was God with us, Emmanuel, dying so that humanity can reconnect with God, is true. And if man chooses to get to it this way or that way or this way or that way, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is it is the truth and everybody can get there. Because even people who don't believe in Jesus, who don't believe in religion, can access the truths about religion. They can access healing for humanity. They can access the universal law of giving, which is what we call tithing in the church. But the bottom line is, if you give, it will be returned to you tenfold. That's a law that people use all the time. Why do you think there is philanthropy? Why do you think there is, charities? Because everybody knows that if you give, it comes back to you. It may not always come back in dollars, but it comes back to you in energy, in karma, in good things coming to you. So there are universal laws that are in play that you don't have to believe in to access. Just like putting a seed in the ground. You cannot believe that what's in that soil makes that seed grow. But I guarantee if you plant it, it's going to grow, right? I think the same is true for religion. And so I say, if that religion, whatever it is, makes people behave better, makes them kinder, makes them more loving, makes them love humanity more, love God more, then it is a good practice. Now, what do I say about religions who say kill other people because they don't believe what you believe? Well, what kind of God is that? What page in the Bible is that? Kill other people. I mean, maybe in the Old Testament, it was like wipe out these people, wipe out that people, but that was all pre-Jesus. Because now that everybody has access to God, you don't need to do that anymore. We don't need to be like that. Now, what is the message? Love. Love your neighbor as yourself. If somebody slaps you one cheek, turn and give them the other one. If they take your cloak, give them your shoes. Walk a mile with them. It's all about love God, love our people, and most importantly, love yourself. I think the self-love portion of the message is the one that's missing. The self-love portion of this message is the one that trips us all up. Because once you learn to love yourself, okay, when you go in, and I don't mean just like buy yourself fancy clothes or whatever. I'm talking about like get inside, do all that inner work, get to that anger, get to the roots of the things that upset you, get to the roots of the things that hurt you, and say, I'm worth the work, I'm worth the time. I mean, it's not easy. This work is not for the lighthearted. But once you get in there and you do that type of work, then you can experience what self-love really feels like. Taking care of yourself, putting yourself first, which is not selfish, not like let me to the front of the line, but like, okay, what is best for me in this situation that doesn't harm another person, right? Like I said before, the universal law is the golden rule. Do unto others that you would have them do unto you. So as long as those religions are not bringing any hurt or pain to anybody, they're not sacrificing babies and whatnot, then that is a path to God. Like I said, it's not a popular belief. but it's a belief that I would argue. I would argue it to the grave. And if I'm wrong, then when I stand in front of God, He will definitely let me know, Twyla, you were out of pocket. But I don't think so. So that is my belief about it. And so the next time someone tells you what their religion is, especially if you're a Christian, is to turn the other cheek. Just let them. And know that maybe they have accessed God in their own way, and allow. That way we can all be at peace. Just allow. Allow them to worship in whatever way they see fit, as long as they're not hurting other people. How's that sound? Sounds like peace to me. Okay, thanks for listening. Subscribe, like, you know the drill, and we will talk again soon. Peace.